Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of the Untravelled Path. I'm here with the lovely Sam again. Today we are going to be talking about LinkedIn. I know it's very scary for many young individuals, but it is not as scary as you think. It's actually a great tool to use to get into the industry. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about it with the expert of experts with LinkedIn. So why is LinkedIn so important, not just for students, but industry professionals as well?
LinkedIn more than ever is so organic. Like if you think about it 10 years ago, how you had to hustle, and those people that were probably very young may not even be able to think about it, but you had to write a CV, you had to pick up the phone, and it was pretty hard to try and find research the people that you want to speak with. There was gatekeepers, but now with LinkedIn, it's virality. You can literally type in an individual that you want to connect with, come up with a compelling reason why they should connect with you at scale and speed. So you can connect in seconds. Only 3 minutes ago did I reach out to someone that I wanted to do a partnership deal with, and immediately he's already connected. I haven't read the message yet, but it just shows how powerful LinkedIn is. And if you're not on LinkedIn, then you're absolutely missing out. You're going to get left out in the cold in 2021. It's the place to be right now, and it's ever growing.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I feel like the scary thing is, especially with young people, is because we understand Facebook, we understand Instagram, but LinkedIn is such another ballpark. Like, how is it different to those kind of social platforms?
LinkedIn is where business is done. It's where key decision makers choose to spend a lot of their time, sometimes up to an hour plus a day, in terms of being educated by people, connected with people, and sharing information as a whole as well. So if you think about your Facebooks and your Instagrams, it's a lot more social, sharing with friends, putting content out there that's adding value on some level, but ultimately probably not putting, the people that you want to get in front of are not choosing to spend time there from a business perspective.
Yeah.
So think of it as the business network. Mm-hmm. And social too.
Yeah, I feel like LinkedIn is more like a social selling kind of point of view. So LinkedIn is you're selling yourself to other people. So in terms of a profile, how do you sell yourself? Like what do you put in it, and how do you really communicate to those kinds of people you want to connect with, your skill set and what you can bring to the table?
Yeah. Good question, Hayley. So most people will go and, well, if you reach out to them, they'll check you out. You need a really good headshot, and we're actually going to get that done today, aren't we? Because the last time I had a good headshot was like 3 years ago, and I have aged since then. When people meet me, they're like, oh, you look different. And I'm like, yeah, that was like 3 years ago, hence why I'm doing it today. So a good headshot's really important. Also in the title, people's eyes will go there next. So put what you are right now, like currently studying or student of, or
there's no
CEO.
shame in being a student.
Absolutely not. In my last year.
Yeah.
So explain who you are in that section. And then where people go wrong is in the about section. They tend to write it in third person. It's pretty stale and old school these days. You have a beautiful opportunity to storytell. So take people through the journey. Think, how do you want to be perceived? What do you want them to think about you? Start from your passions and your interests and why you got into the field and what the next year, 2 years looks like. So where you've come from, where you are right now, and where you're heading. To give them a really good understanding of your values, very important, and your mission statement, which is basically who are you, what do you stand for, and where are you heading, and your why. Yeah. So that will go in the about section. I could go on forever, so tell me if I'm giving enough there.
I think my even as a student, it was very clear. I was just like, I'm a freelance graphic designer with a passion with working with people, so people know that I'm, a people person. I've got my experience in there as well. So it doesn't have to be like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. As long as it's to the point and showcases who you are, like you said, with your values, I think that's pretty much just what people need. It's just to know who you are, not necessarily what you do, I guess.
Agree. Another important thing, and I'm not sure if you've done this yet, but I'm sure you will after this video, is recommendations. I always look for recommendations, so will key decision makers also. So get some recommendations / testimonials, it's called recommendations in LinkedIn though, from key people, like people that you've either worked with. It could be your lecturer, it could be someone that's highly regarded in your community, your PE teacher, your friends, so on and so forth. So get a diverse amount of recommendations on there. Don't be afraid to ask. So a lot of the senior people that we work with, CEOs, etc., kind of are afraid to ask that recommendation.
Yeah.
Do not. People are absolutely fine to give it. I mean, the way that I would reach out would be, hey, look, I'm really wanting to build up my recommendations. I'm looking to get a job here. Would it be possible to give me one? I'm more than happy to give you one back.
Yeah, I think I definitely see it much more prominent now when I was first starting on LinkedIn maybe a couple years ago. So I think, starting to get those recommendations is just like one extra little thing people are looking for on that LinkedIn account, especially if they're looking between two people as well. So if you have those recommendations, I feel like you have more of a possibility to get that job.
You have a lot more credibility there. So give that key decision maker what they want. Ultimately, yes, they're going to look at your pathway, where you've come from, but then they're also going to look at your skill set, and then are you going to be a good fit for your culture, your values, like how do you operate? Like for example, Hayley, she's always punctual. Apart from for today, you were 2 minutes late because the alarm never went off, but you're always punctual, warm, friendly. You need to give that vibe out there. And also, one thing I think's lacking when I interview, and I know we're just digressing slightly, but we'll bring it back, is self-awareness. Like, don't just talk about yourself. Talk about the environment, your team, like your values, what interests you, why that company, what you can bring to the table, where you want to head.
I think
do your research.
Yeah, it's not all about showing what you're doing, but also how you interact with the people that you work with. And it's always nice to see when someone goes, love working with this team, really enjoyed working with this project, rather than going, how great is my work?
Yeah. Nailing it. Yes.
It's just it's shows character more when someone goes, look how great these people are, celebrating the people around you rather than solely yourself. I think is a huge characteristic people look for. In terms of connectability now moving forward, I guess.
Oh, can I just press the pause button and rewind?
Yeah.
One more thing is when fill in obviously your details of where you come from and where you're heading, but also articles. It's a real standout. If I go to someone's LinkedIn profile and they've written an article about something that they're passionate about or something that's relating to business industry, that is next level credibility. So there is an article section in LinkedIn. Have a think about the type of article you want to write, the content, and how that's going to appeal to that key decision maker also. Or maybe it might not at this time. It might just be something that you really want to share and add value to.
Yeah, even just like having an open letter similar to what we did with our first video. The open letter kind of encourages connectivity between people starting a conversation, so that also can give you connections within the community as well, I guess. Awesome. Yes, so yeah, moving with that kind of theme of connectivity, what are the best ways to kind of connect with people? I know we touched on it before, but I know some people, especially in my industry, with the design industry, cold calling is like a huge thing. But I guess now with LinkedIn, especially, again, I keep saying especially with young people, but we are more accustomed to typing than calling up someone. It is something that we just don't love doing, and I know it's hard and I know we have to do it, but
that's where the growth is.
Yeah, but with LinkedIn, it's almost like cold calling from your laptop, basically. So I feel like the best ways to connect people on LinkedIn, do you message them when you connect with them? Do you kind of ask them questions? What are the best ways in going with connecting people in the industry?
Yep, love it. So for me, the best way is to obviously have some content out there on your profile. So you have an article, you're already engaging with people and you're distributing some content yourself. So when that person comes and chooses to connect, they can already see, oh, well, she or he's sharing content, she's very active or he's very active. The way I do it would be to search by company, and then from company, just say you want to work, Coca-Cola, and then from there you can see all the people that work at Coca-Cola, and then you can go and reach out to that specific key decision maker. So it might be head of HR or head of marketing, I don't know who it may be, but you would know.
Yeah.
Or do your research if you don't. Then you have the opportunity to connect with them. Now, press the pause button on that. Don't just press the connect button. There's a little section there to write a note. Please write the note. It's easier to do it on desktop than mobile, by the way. But think within that note, why should they connect with you? For what purpose should they connect with you? And you only have a very short space of time to do that. So you have to have a really good think about why you're reaching out and make it about them, not you.
Awesome. Yeah.
It could be you've done some research and you know that the CEO loves cricket and you're into cricket and you love the company and you follow the journey and you like the articles because you follow the LinkedIn company page. That's another thing you need to do.
Yeah. Kind of, that connectivity. What?
LinkedIn Premium. Yeah. Don't buy that at this stage. Like, I've never bought LinkedIn Premium whatsoever. It's like, it's an easy way out, and when I get in mail, honestly, I put it to the side. So if you get in the trenches, you write your note, you get it right, test and learn. You know, not everyone's going to accept it, but even if you put 100 out there, one person may, and that's great.
Yeah, and I've always asked this question to myself as well. If you are looking at someone within the industry and you're potentially looking for a job there, is it like, what's the etiquette within? Do you like, hey, do you guys have any job opportunities? I would love to connect with you guys. Even just internships, is that appropriate, or would you rather have a conversation with them first and then digress into that conversation?
Go down. I wouldn't go straight for the job. It's like with anything, isn't it? You go out on a date, you don't immediately go, will you marry me? You've got to kind of take them along the journey, get them warm, they've got to understand your values and you, and are you right fit for culture, are you right fit for them? So my recommendation would be to do your research on that person. Type their name into Google. What are their interests? You need to be relatable to them on some level. Find a way. So as I mentioned before, it could be cricket. And then just say you'd love to connect. You read the articles that the company's putting out, read their values, and just say the company really inspires you. You follow them for a while. You'd really love to connect, to follow the feed and look at more in terms of what that person's putting out there and learn from them. Just really keen to learn.
I think even if you don't get a potential job opportunity, it's just another connection that you make.
Once they connect, then I would be looking to arrange a phone call, or can I get your email address? I'd love to send some information through. You may not have any jobs right now, but I'd love to be front of mind. And then follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. So don't just do it once. I remember probably 7 or 8 years ago now, a girl called Kaz used to work with us, and we didn't have any internships at the time. And I reckon she phoned me at least once a week and sent me emails. And in the end, must have been like 3 or 4 months later, I was like, you know what? You're really persistent. I love you. Yes, we've got a job opportunity now. Come on board.
No means yes.
No.
No mean like a no now, maybe a yes in the future.
Exactly.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes, we like that.
But yeah, thank you so much for sitting down and giving your expertise on the LinkedIn side of things. I think it's going to be really valuable for a lot of students and industry people to kind of understand just how powerful LinkedIn is.
Can I give 2 key secrets away, or should we give it away in the next?
Let's give it away.
Okay, 2 key secrets. You have a QR code on your LinkedIn profile. Please use it. You don't need business cards anymore. So when you're out there networking, lots of people don't even know it's there, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that was there. How cool is that? Show me how to do it. So you can connect up offline to the online, which is great, because then you can then start to come into your feed. The second thing is, when you're messaging people, I find second time round, use audio if you're comfortable with it. They get to hear you, sense a little bit more about you. So as opposed to texting, use an audio. And the world's moving more to audio more than ever before. So they're my 2 little tips.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, and good luck, everyone.
Boys.
What?
No means yes.
I know where you were going with.